Today I'm going to tell you the single best way to get the most out of your xTool M2 inkjet cartridge. Hi there. If you're new, my name is Sarah. Welcome in. If you're returning, thanks so much for coming back. Today I'm going to be talking about how I have been printing with the print cartridge for the xTool M2 before launch, and I have still 70+% ink capacity. Now, why this is important is because those printer ink cartridges are not cheap. And even if they are a business expense for us, we need to make sure we're spending our money wisely. So I'm going to talk about the single primer I use. Now, before we get into it, I have tried every single hack. Just FYI, I had the M2's predecessor, the xTool M1 Ultra, and I have had InkAID for as long as I had that machine as well. And I am telling you, if it's Mod Podge, glossy or matte, if it is a primer for wood, if it is a polyacrylic, if it is a gesso, if it is an acrylic paint, I have tried it as a primer. The one thing I will tell you is that nothing compares to InkAID. So what is InkAID? If you are new and you've never heard this, or you haven't seen me singing its praises in my laser Facebook group or in the official Facebook group for the M2, InkAID is an inkjet primer. Now, it's not designed for the laser, printer community. It actually has been in use for many years with artists, with journalists, with photographers. This is a medium prep. Now, the way we're using it may be different from them, so I'm going to show you a ton of examples. Some of you may have seen some of these examples before. I'm also going to talk about the prep. Now, I have, again, been using this for a couple years. I have figured out the right way to do this. I have also figured out which ones need one coat, which needs two coats, etc. I have tried all of these materials and more, which I'll show you. But I want to first talk about the proof is in the pudding. So some of these examples you may have seen. These are just flat canvases, and these are primed with InkAID. This is primed with white. This is primed with gloss. Those are the two formulas I would recommend. Anything that is white or that you are creating that won't have a background or an offset cut out around it, I recommend the white. If you are using muted colors, InkAID gloss formula is just as effective. This can go on any color. What about photos or images on wood? Yes, these can also be treated. Both of these just happen to be a single coat. You can see my notes are on the back. A single coat of InkAID Clear Glossy. A single coat. MDF. So you can see this is really MDF. This is white. It's called Eco White. This just has a single coat of MDF or of InkAID on it. That's it. Single coat of the clear right on top. I also, these little canvases, one coat for each of these, whether you're trying to print photographs or whether you're trying to print designs to match. This was designed to match a CMYK print for a lady's glitter. These both work. You can do amazing art prints as well. So you can see here, I just took Domain Art. You can see this one is the white primer. There's my notes on the back. I don't have to remember anything because I write it all down. But you can do some amazing, amazing projects. So if I didn't mention this already, I have had this machine prior to launch, prior to it ever coming out and releasing. I am only at 70% ink capacity for my lowest color. I have been asked 100 times if you can print on acrylics. Yes. And you can get very subtle color differences. You can work with clears. This is a frosted clear. This is a full clear. And you can work with whites. All of these were coated with an InkAID primer. So now let's get into it, right? Let's talk about the ways that I prime my materials. So I'm going to move quickly here, but then I'm going to put you a tip sheet below for free. So I have the clear white, gold, and pearl. The bottom or the last two are new to me. I primarily use white and clear. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of these tips. The first is use a stick or something like these large popsicle sticks because you will have to stir from the bottom as they separate. For application, you can use a foam craft brush or you can use a regular, fluffy paintbrush. I also am going to show you some of these samples. I will quadrant and we'll do the clear, white, gold, and pearl. This is uncoated or unsealed ceramic. I've never done this with the InkAID before. You can seal prior, but I kind of wanted to just see it with the InkAID. This is basswood plywood, also quadranted it out, and I will do a couple of more items like acrylics, fabrics, and leathers, even some tricks. So I do put on gloves probably 55-60% of the time. I don't know. It says to. And then I don't waste any of it. I'll show you exactly how much InkAID I have left, even using it for the M1 Ultra. Okay, my application tip: vertical, then horizontal, and vertical again. That's one coat. You can let it dry, or you can use a heat gun to dry it. But usually I just pop on one coat, let it dry overnight. You can see that gold and the pearlescent are new to me, and I'm like oohing and ahhing. I took that part out. So I'm just going to dry these quickly. You can see on that ceramic coaster, that's some serious changes. So I'm going to write these on the back just like I've done. This one I'm going to flood in just a second. We'll talk about clear, gold, and pearl. I did not do white on clear. It looks very streaky. So I'm just going to rip off this and then we will apply it with our foam brushes, one for each of these three colors. So on acrylic, leather, anything non-porous, you want the most clean application. I mess up intentionally. I stuck my hand into the right side of white primed acrylic, and you will see why. I wanted to show you what happens when you have good examples or bad examples. Okay, so the flooding one is just a test. I wanted to use these 25 milliliter syringes I have for my acrylic cement. And I wanted to see, because this is self-leveling, but I don't like the edges as it's drying. I'm also going to prep this with some clear. This is a very hard plastic ID badge. I think it'll fail with some scratch test, but we'll see. So these are the results. I scratch everything just to see if it's there. This is one coat of clear matte sealant on this coaster. Again, we have clear, white, gold, and pearlescent. Let me put it down and you can see the pearlescent and gold will change the color. The white is the best on canvas, but the clear does really well. Now, this is the biggest one I see that's just insanely different. Again, we have clear, white, and then on the bottom, gold and pearlescent. Absolutely changes the color, in my opinion, poorly on the bottom two. Clear and white are the only two I would put on an unsealed coaster like this, just because look at that. You can tell a massive difference. So I got to play with those. Now here's the application most people will use on wood. The left one by itself is untreated basswood that is laser ready. Top is clear and then white. Bottom is gold and then pearlescent. And you'll see on every single one of them, you will pick a favorite and it will never be untreated wood. So here you can see their close-up. I love the white on that, but also really dig the gold. Now this one in the fairy, the gold is my winner, but my daughter really liked that white one at the top right. And each of these is your preference. Again, I recommend white and clear to be in your arsenal just because of things like this. Like that white is insane, but that pearl on the bottom looks really beautiful in natural light. And finally, you think you can't print white. Most things are not true white. That snowman is actually a pale blue. So that came out really well on basswood, I think. Now fabric, untreated, then clear, then white. This is drop cloth, the most workable working fabric you can get. Very rough, but even this made a massive difference. On very thin polyester, I use this for sublimation. You can see there is a brilliant difference. Now the clear works really, really well on this thin white fabric, but the white's the winner. Now I just want to warn you, when you are printing, I always put a piece of paper behind it because it could leak through. Now this is leather, and I'm going to get really close and show you. Again, the outside edge is from the tape. It will remove that InkAID, so be concerned. But let me put this down and show you. There's a portion on the tail and body. You see those lines going left to right on the left leg? That is because it doesn't have a good application. You will be able to tell on really non-porous items. Speaking of which, these are the two acrylics. Remember, these are the whites. I intentionally put the palm of my hand down on the right-hand side. Some of them turn out great. Some of them, like this one, you can see the right-hand dot at the top and those lines down. And then on the right-hand side, in the leaves of the tulip, everything else looks decent, but you can really tell down there. Now, one thing I know I'm going to be asked, because I came up with the question, and that is, this is wine bag and just made of canvas. The left is untreated, the right is treated. I scored it first, then treated, then printed, and you can see big difference. That's just treated with clear. Even though white works better, I thought I would test it. Let me know if you want a tutorial on that. And finally, remember when I said I thought this would just scratch off? This is sealed with a single coat of matte spray sealant, and you can see it wasn't very difficult for me to scratch it off, so that's not really a great application. Okay, so it's future me. I'm editing, and I wanted to show you something. So I want you to keep in mind a single ink cartridge can only be purchased from xTool. You have to add shipping. So I'm going to estimate the $99 cartridge and $10 shipping at $109. This is my current levels of InkAID. All of the printing I have done. Both of these together are less than a single ink cartridge. As I mentioned, down below, I'm going to put a link to this page. It is a free printable with some tips and reminders on using InkAID that I feel are valuable. Also, on InkAID's website is this handy chart. Up at the top, you can see I recommend getting it from their website, but Amazon is an available option. In the UK, you have First Call Photographic and Bromley's Art Supplies. Let me know if you're somewhere else in the world, and I'll try and find it for you. Have I convinced you yet? Now, I'm not here to influence you. I am here to show you how to get the best from your xTool M2's printer cartridge. I want you to have the most cost-effective and the most vibrant results that you can get, and that is why I'm showing you all of these products. If you have questions on these products, leave them down below. I will answer them. Jim is the owner of InkAID and the chief developer of the chemical combinations that are used for it. And I got to tell you, he is the nicest guy, and he will answer any questions if I can't. You can also go onto their website and chat directly with Jim, which I urge you to do. If you have an application I have not shown here, or you haven't seen somebody else show, just hop on, and the guy is the nicest guy. Down below, I'm going to put some affiliate links. If you're not familiar with affiliate links, it means that if you click on that link and you purchase a product, I could earn a commission. But if you value this kind of content, do let me know, and I appreciate you supporting me in any way that you can. Please like this video and comment below with your machine and your wattage. Let me know how you would use this product. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.